Anyway, let's take a look at what Kyle had to say about his former friend, Joe Rogan.
This is a guy who originally said, I don't want to interview Donald Trump because I don't want to help him out inadvertently. I don't want to rehabilitate him. I got no interest in doing that. He went from that position to, yes, I want to talk to him, to, I'm going to give him a hot stone massage on air, to, I'm going to endorse him and go to the inauguration. Then he went to, you know, I don't know if it's actually a good idea to totally get rid of due process for immigrants, bro. I feel like that might go like a little too far, bro. So he was a Trump meat rider. Then the shit hit the fan, and he tepidly, tiny criticism, and then he runs away, right? And he does the classic trick that everybody in MAGA does, which is when something bad happens, you just broadly, generally criticize the thing mildly, but you don't bring up Trump, and you don't go to town on it.
And that's exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tim Dillon did throughout their entire exchange with one another. They would bring something up. They'd be like, it's certainly a bad look, but I support our president. And then they would move the fuck on.
Compare the way he talks about the left compared to when he has a criticism of Trump. Never mentions Trump name, fucking soft pedals the shit out of it. But when it's the left, oh, these people are crazy, bro. They're so crazy, bro.
Yep. That's so true. So
He's a guy.
Fucking annoying, double standard. And I would have some level of respect for people like Joe Rogan if they did actually use their fucking influence and platform for good. Like, okay, you have Trump's fucking number. You have some level of influence with right-wing media. Fucking use it. And not just to make these tepid bullshit fucking stupid criticisms without naming Trump, but to actually go fucking hard on the guy, to say, like, this is a disgrace. I feel bad for enabling this. I feel bad for helping this guy get into office. And part of my, attempts to seek redemption will be calling him out by name and actually being honest about what the fuck is going on in this country, right? Again, not that it would totally repair his legacy. That's long gone. But if you actually want to claw your way back to dignity, that's what you got to do.
100%. But it doesn't seem like that's what he's doing, right? It doesn't seem like he has any interest in really doing that. He just wants to insulate him further at the mothership, right? Stay in Austin, Texas, even though it sucks, even though there's more comedians turning on Austin every single day. It's kind of been a beat that we've been covering, Gavin. And I pulled two clips of, honestly, the GOAT comedian in the game right now, Stavros. Maybe my favorite guy on the internet. Always makes me laugh. I love his podcast content. I love that he's not too self-serious, but he actually is, a good stand-up comic. He's not just a podcaster. Anyway, this is a clip from a little bit ago where he had a comedian I'd never heard of named Jordan Jensen on his podcast. And you can tell she's trying to use his show as a launch pad to get invited on Joe Rogan's podcast. And Stavros is not having it, bro. He's not having it. He pretty much humiliates her live on his own podcast. It's glorious. He just starts making fun of her relentlessly.
Yep. I saw this when it dropped, but I'm excited to relive it.
With you on all this stuff.
Feminism is dead, dude.
But what you're talking about is a form of feminism. You're talking about
I want it to come back.
Okay.
Remember hairy armpits? Now it's unacceptable.
I don't think that's true.
It's okay in Bushwick, but it's not cool.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
What's that the Italian lady had who's hot?
Oh yes. I know who you're talking
Sophia
about.
Loren.
Sophia Loren.
Yeah, she had
I got no problem with hairy armpits. I'm on
that's
record.
fine,
Yeah.
But it's very rare to see it on like an actual empowered woman. It's on like a vegan trans who has like non-binary cats or whatever.
This is really interesting because you're actually saying radical feminism with Kill Tony vocabulary right now. It's like a fascinating. I'm having a hard time even because we do agree, but you're throwing these like anti-cancel culture buzzwords out.
There's a way to
you're
be...
like, it's like how Ian is embarrassed of being gay, so he pretends to be Republican. You're doing this. Yeah. You're embarrassed to be a feminist, so you're pretending to be Republican right now.
No, I think if you're a feminist, then you also have to have issues with trans stuff. You have to, because when a trans person goes, now I'm a woman, and they get giant fake tits, you have to be like, hey.
No, I don't think that's true.
You don't have to, but you got to go a little bit alone, and when in your room alone, you have to go, hey.
You're saying, no. I think this is about you wanting big fake tits and to look
I
like
don't
that.
want them. Why would you want to add more weight?
So wait, what's your... So you're coming out as a trans exclusionary radical feminist. The turf.
I'm not a turf.
Okay, well, what you talking about? What you said was very turfy right there.
No,
if
I
you're
think
a feminist,
that if
you
you
have to have an
transition
issue
to
with
be a
trans
woman,
women.
if you transition to be a woman, you've probably undergone the same amount of shit that a woman has undergone, like societally.
I think you've gone through some different, but yes.
Yeah. Totally.
equally bad stuff.
If my dog kind of looks like a cat. If people go, is that a cat? I go, yeah, she looks like a cat. She's a cat. If you want her to be a cat, she's a cat. I don't give a fuck what you want to be.
Okay.
But I do want women to stop being little fucking cum goblins.
Okay, now we switch to a different thing.
With the
Also, what is it with their like the turf comedians' inability to actually make a goddamn single funny joke about the subject that they're so obsessed with? I say this a million times, but I'm like, just hit me with an actually fucking funny joke about the trans experience or the trans community, and it'll like you'll be able to get away with a lot more. Like, I'm sorry, here's some advice to you fucking anti-trans bigots. Like, actually just figure out a way to make it somewhat funny and not just like an ideological screed of fucking, you know, stupid pet peeves you have with society, which is what it always sounds like. Even in that clip, you know, she's trying her best to like make it funny, but it's really like, where's the joke? You're just like being cruel and transphobic.
And it's crazy too, because it's like a mind virus, right? It's like it's like Ozempic for your brain. It just starts eating away at whatever part of you made you once funny, and it just replaces it with like this hateful punchline that never works. It never lands. It happened to the greatest comedian, one of the greatest comedians of all time. People, Dave wasn't ever that funny. Dave Chappelle used to be really fucking funny, man, and it ate the funny part of his brain, and it just became totally hateful. And it was the same punchline every single time, and it was lazy, and it was derogatory, and it was a cheap shot. It wasn't inventive, and we all knew, Dave, you're too talented to have like one observation over the last 10 years. How is this your only observation? I don't like trans women. It really makes it seem like you like trans women a lot and you don't feel comfortable with that, so you have to like humiliate them and degrade them publicly, right? That's the impression I've always gotten from Dave. But then it took over the entire comedy sphere. And Gavin,
Also, are we not going to get to the part where he calls her out for using the T slur?
oh, we could definitely go back to that. I was just gonna say she got her way because she immediately
Got on
9 days
Rogan.
later got invited on the Joe Rogan Experience.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize she actually went on Rogan. But yeah, that clip kind of like, I'm not sure if it's in that clip that you have, but it kind of climaxes when Stabby like calls her out for using the T slur. It's a pretty
shit that a woman has
moment.
Let me see if we can find that really quick, because I do still have this pulled up right here.
Cool.
undergone, like
I think you've
societally.
gone through some different, but yes.
Yeah, totally.
Equally bad stuff.
If my dog kind of looks like a cat. If people go, is that a cat? I go, yeah, she looks like a cat. She's a cat. If you want her to be a cat, she's a cat. I don't give a fuck what you want to be.
Okay.
But I do want women to stop being little fucking cum goblins
Okay, now we switch to a different thing.
with the lips.
Okay, you just mean cum goblin to you just means like succumbing to the male gaze, being like a sex doll, that kind of vibe, bimbo aesthetic, that kind of thing.
And the way they talk.
Mm-hmm.
A kid asked if I was a boy the other day.
And is that what this is all about?
I talk normal, and other girls talk like fucking.
Okay.
He said, can I throw a ball for your dog? I said, oh, heck yeah. And he goes,
Yeah.
are you a boy? And I said, I don't know.
I don't know anymore. I want to get my tits chopped off like Robbie Hoffman.
I don't understand. It sucks.
Okay, you're going through something, is what
It's
this
New York. It's New York.
What
especially.
is this? What's going on?
I'm about to
Do
get
you
my
feel
period.
undesirable?
I'm about to get my period. I just went through a breakup on Tuesday.
Again, I think last time you were here, you were just going. It's probably the same guy, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
This happened 7 times since I've known you. This exact same. I mean, this is the most time is a flat circle podcast there is.
Yeah.
Every time you've done this podcast, you just.
I'm not sure when the
broken up
actual
with
calling out happens.
Sure.
It might be like, 10, 15 minutes from this timestamp. But either way, there is a point where it gets a little bit spicier. Not a huge deal. I'm sure you guys can find the clip online. But yeah, this one's also really funny.
Yeah, Stavy's an OG Austin hater, guys, and that's what I really respect about Stavros. He just doubled, tripled down. He was like, I don't need Joe Rogan's audience. I have my own audience. We'll find our own audience. We don't have to like kiss his ass just because we're in the podcasting sphere. And the balls to go to Austin and perform this set is just incredible. And I think we're really entering the Stavy era. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But do you actually know if this was at the Comedy Mothership or was it just at some other club in Austin?
Oh, that's a really good question. Let me look. It doesn't say. I don't think it's actually at the Mothership, though it might be. It kind of looks like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because, yeah, it's becoming increasingly unpopular for comedians to want to perform at the Mothership. But I feel like a year or so, whenever this was recorded, it probably was like, it wasn't so controversial yet.
Sure. It definitely could be. I'll find out after we watch this.
Here, Austin, fun town. You guys are building a lot of really shitty houses. It looks like a lot of just absolute dog shit apartment buildings. It's really funny. A lot of tech piece of shit moving in. This is awesome. it was like pretty shitty here before. You know what I mean? Like I came here 6 years ago. I was like, damn, a lot of fucking losers are making this town horrible. And then I'm here 7 years later, just a bunch of guys who are like tweeting at Elon Musk all the time. I mean, first of all, there's tons. Who the fuck are we kidding, right? Even people that like him know that's stupid, right? You all know that, right? You think that's a good idea? You're like. You've got the look of a fan. You gotta change. You gotta queer eye yourself a little bit. You do look like an Elon reply guy. I hate to say it. We gotta get you some bright floral prints or something. You know what I mean? It's just some. What do you do, buddy? So get out of here. All right, you're the opposite of that kind of guy. Wow, I'm so sorry, dude. You actually doing something good for the world, and I fucking accused you of speculative investing. My apologies. Do you have a job, buddy? What's going on? How's your life?
I actually work in building their shitty houses.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that puts all the shit on Instagram.
That's not a part of the job. That's not. Hold on, you're telling me construction workers are making content now? In the social media team for construction?
So anyway, he's not afraid to go in there and troll them all, and it does seem like everybody has a good time, which is what happens if you're an actually funny comedian. He just went in there and took a fat shit on these people's town, talked about how he hated all the disgusting 3D printed buildings just like me and Gavin, talked about how it seemed like a corporate wasteland, a bunch of Elon Musk fanboys running around what used to be a cool and artsy enclave in Texas. And he, by the end of his set, he's got everybody laughing, clapping, stomping, agreeing with him.
Yep, 100%, which is the power of a good comedian. Like, as much pride as I have about Kansas City, if a good comedian came here and started roasting it in a set that I was in, I would be laughing. There's certain things that I could roast Kansas City for. There's a lot of fertile ground there, even though I love the place. So yeah, of course, that's great. I mean, it's kind of like the Bill Burr thing with Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. It's literally like one of my top 5 favorite cities in this country. But that's an amazing rant that he went on, just incredible, going off on Philly. So yeah, great stuff. Huge fan of Stavy, and it's great just to see that most people are starting to turn on the Austin comedy scene.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir.